All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Periscope. My name is Matt Manero. You're watching the Commercial Fleet Financing Morning Scrum.
Kendra.
Happens. Hey, Kendra, how are you? Everybody, go this way. Say hi to Kendra. Happens every morning, 9:30 at our office. Should happen every morning at your office, too, whatever time works best for you guys. Guys, here's the call report from yesterday. 1,546 calls in and out of this office yesterday. That's a big day. So good job for just about everybody on the call report. You can route it around if you want. Good job. We don't have anybody visiting us. No VIPs coming in town. Nothing like that. All right, so let's stay after it this week. Look, I wanted to show everybody the wave of the future here. So I'm not sure how many of you have already seen this, but this came out last night. But this is the future of trucking. This is the self-driving Freightliner, okay? So here it is. Kwame, if you'll turn that up for me, or just give me that, I'll turn it up. This is the future.
Well, hey, trucking professionals, Jack Roberts with CCJ in Overdrive. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I didn't hit a jackpot last night, which means I have to work today, but it's a pretty cool day. Freightliner is going to teach me how to drive the Inspiration autonomous truck. I'm going to get an autonomous endorsement for my CDL in the state of Nevada. So why don't you guys tag along with us? We're going to let you see what it's like to learn to drive one of these things and get a little feedback from behind the steering wheel.
Once we get up to speed here, we're going to be looking for the message across your cluster to say Highway Pilot available.
Look at that, the tablet inside.
See that? Just hit the reset button. And you'll go back to the preset cruise control speed. And then you'll see the screen turn to the blue autonomous mode, and you'll be able to take your hands off.
Highway Pilot's available, so just hit resume at this point.
There you go.
So there it is, driving down the road. Truck is in control of the truck.
It's a strange sensation the first time you do it because you're used to your foot. You know, if you do use cruise control, that feels completely normal. It's kind of funny, but it's amazing.
Steering, speed, braking, everything controlled by the truck. He's literally just sitting there. That's it. He has no control over the big rig. 80,000 pounds going down the road at 65 miles an hour.
So if you want to turn it back on, just hit resume. Good to go. If you want to take control of the steering, I mean, if you want to oversteer a little bit, you can feel a little bit of resistance.
Right.
But you can still force it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you can take total control back anytime you want, or you can oversteer.
Making turns.
So this is the audible command. So I've got to take control of the truck. As soon as I did, it noticed.
That's the rub right
Is
there.
this our exit?
Truck telling you,
Okay.
hey, you need to take control over it again. Well, what if I'm taking a nap?
Alrighty. Well, there's the future. Right there.
Well said.
Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I enjoyed that. It's a little bit weird when you engage the highway pilot and the truck starts driving itself. You feel at first like you need to grab a hold of the steering wheel or do something, as I said during the drive, but you get used to it pretty quickly. The most interesting thing is how smooth the system is. It's not herky or jerky. It's a very smooth, organic feel to the vehicle. And I think you can sort of tell from my hair, we've got a pretty gusty wind out here in Vegas today. And the truck actually deals with crosswinds better than a human driver does. I actually hit the rumble strip a little bit. We got a big gust of wind out on the road. About the same time I engaged the system, and it just went smooth right back into the center lane. You know, the truck itself drives great even without highway pilot. It's a very smooth system. The steering wheel's great. The rear view cameras, you get used to those very quickly as well. So all in all, a super interesting experience today. A little taste of the future. I think you're going to see these systems pretty soon.
Did they release pricing on them?
No. It's only legally plated in the state of Nevada, but Nevada CDL license holders can get licensed to drive those. So in Nevada, you can actually get that truck plated and drive it. I don't think it's in production at all yet. But, you know, there's huge discussion about this. I believe this is coming. I mean, I was in New York couple months ago, and I drove in a self-driving Uber car, right? It was the 2016 Yukon Denali, and it drove itself. It was 4:30 in the morning, guys taking me to the airport, and he was just sitting there and we were talking, and the car was driving itself. This is coming. There's no question about it. You're renting that Yukon, right? You feel it beep in your butt.
I had to turn that damn thing off.
Yeah, turn that thing off, right? It's annoying.
Like, oh, man, it's
But did you also feel how when you turn from one lane to the other, herky-jerky, it points you back in the right direction? This stuff's coming. There's no question about it. But here becomes the challenge in our industry of trucking, right? How does it work? I mean, that thing by itself is going to back into the 100-year-old warehouse in downtown Chicago to deliver frozen steers of meat? No, you're going to need somebody to do that. So that's a long way off. But you know, it is in lots of talks. Massive distribution centers, Chicago, LA, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Miami, in which there is a dedicated lane and an autonomous truck will take the freight from the massive distribution center in Chicago to the massive distribution center in Dallas, all by itself. No driver needed. Now, massive capital infrastructure required for that, right? Who's going to upfit the highways? Because right now that is on a test track and it's running off markers that are installed along the road. But there is talk about being able to do this off of GPS. So you just connect to the GPS and the GPS gets you where you're going.
Can I say something?
Sure.
There's also, that also works off of cameras and radar.
Yep.
So a lot of the times the cameras are monitoring the white lines and the yellow lines, and that's how it's staying in the center of the lane. A lot of highways need to upgrade their paint, and
Yeah, but the rub on that is snow.
yeah.
So what happens if that is covered?
Well, I mean, going back to the GPS, you know, I was just thinking if you go under an overpass, a big bridge or something like that, and you lose satellite signal for 20 seconds. I mean, because it happens on my boat. I just had that happen last weekend. That's the reason I brought that up.
GPS told me to take a left on the bridge before,
So listen, if you're looking to be an expert in the space, in the transportation equipment finance space, and you're looking to talk about the future, and you're looking to separate yourself from the competition, we should be talking about this. Throw out the question. Social media, you're going to jump all over this, but we need to ask the question, what do you guys think about autonomous trucks? And if the customer says, what are you talking about? Or the dealer says, what are you talking about? Wake up, dude. Did you see it? Let me show you. Forward the video to them, right? Separate yourself from the competition by being a forward thinker on this type of information. But the reality is, it's coming. There's no doubt in my mind that there will be self-driving cars and self-driving big rigs, period, end of story. Mass scale. No question about it. All right, so that's the introduction to the future right there. How does it impact our business? Big question mark, right? Big question, right? Look, you're not, an owner-operator isn't going to jump on this, okay? The owner-operator loves driving, they love the wind in their hair, they love the freedom, but the big fleets, they love this stuff. Because what's the problem that this truck solves?
drivers.
The biggest problem in the industry, driver shortage, okay? So anyway, just an introduction to the future. That's it for our Scrum. Let's go after it. All right, Periscope, good morning. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys got any questions, fire them up. We can answer them right now for you. Otherwise, have a great day.